Okay, welcome back, folks. Just trying this new project. What we've done is we've taught this paper to our students. We had some technical problems on the videos, and we've ended with a lot of screenshots. And I was thinking of putting it together as a slideshow. So here we go. Okay, so this this paper has already been done previously, and as we finished each page, we saved it, and so now we're going to be presenting you the work as a slideshow. So here we go. Let's see how this goes. So here comes the first question, question number 1. So I'm going to go through it with you, give you a short voiceover, minus all my students talking in the background. Number 1, the numbers in the two triangles add up to a number in the square. So the 10 add 15 is 25. Using the same rule, write in the missing numbers. So here we go. 55, add the 75, we just add them up. 50 and 70 is 120, add the 25 is 130. Now, here comes the next question. 25, add another numbers missing. It was missing, is equal to 120. So I went through two different techniques. One was given by my students, one was given by myself. So the student said, well, why don't we try to do it in this kind of column style? 25, add the two missing digits, will give us 120, and we went through that. So 5 add something is 10, so that was 5. Then we said 2 add 1 is 3, add the 9 will give us a 12. So that was one way which the student came up with, quite an ingenious way. I quite enjoyed that input. The second technique which I mentioned was using the traditional algebraic method. So opposite of adding 25 is to minus the 25. So I done 120 minus 25 gives you 95. And that was the end of the question number 1. Let's quickly move to question number 2. So question number 2, we had to draw the reflection of all the shaded shapes in the mirror line. So the grey ones were the original ones. The mirror line is the dotted one. So this grey here, it gets reflected to this straight across. This one gets reflected to 2 spaces across. And this one gets reflected to 3 places across. And that was done. Question number 3. Circle the number that is closest to 300. So what we said to our students is let's work out the difference between 300 and all of these numbers, and you can see them here. So 338 was 38 greater than 300, 3030 was 2730 more than 300, and 288 was 12 less than, 313 was 13 more than 300, and so on. So we said the closest one to 300 was the one which was 12 below, which was the 288. Question number 4. The number 20 goes into 2 of the squares of this multiplication grid. Now, how do you get 20? 20 is made up of, okay, I think I'm going to do a bit of notes on here as well. Let's just see. I'm going to annotate on here on this video. Okay, 20 is equal to, where we go? Let's say this. So 20 is equal to 5 times by 4. So as we can see, 4 times by 5, that will give you an answer here, which I've done. And then we have 5 times by 4, which will give you an answer here. So we have 2 ticks that go in those 2 boxes. My ticks are a bit big. Try to keep yours inside, please. And that's the end of question number 4. Okay. Now question number 5. Here are 3 nets of a cube. The grey dots were the original. On each net, draw 1 more dot so that each cube will have dots on opposite faces. So we need to mentally fold up this net so it goes back to making a cube. If you think that's the base, this will be the front come up, and that will be the back. That's how these will be opposite each other. That's done. If this is the base, this will be this side, this will be this side, and that will be right on top of the box. So these two will be opposite. Now, if you think of this as the base, this will flap up here, that will flap up, that will go on top, that will go on the other side, and that will flap around, and these two will be then opposite. Lovely. Question number 6. The diagram shows how 9 people travel to work and how far away they live. So walk, bus, cycle. Now the reason why you can see all this annotation on here, as I said, this was done previously. We had a technical issue where the recording stopped after question number 6. So we're coming back through it now, and I'm now giving a voiceover and explaining what we've done. How many people live more than 4 kilometers from work? So that means it's got to be more than, it's going to be outside this circle, anywhere outside this circle. So everywhere here. So E, F, G, and H. That gives us 4 people. How far from work does person G live? Well, G is over here. So that's going to be 2, 4, And between 4 and 6, around about 5 kilometers would be an answer. You can have anything from 4.5 to 5.5 will be accepted. Write the letter of the person who lives 2 kilometers from work and cycles. Cycles is a dot, and it's got to be on the first 2 kilometer line, and the dot is going to be D. And that's the end of question number 6. Okay, obviously when I done it, I think it was yesterday, when I done the original video, I had students in there and I was talking to students, interacting with them. That takes much more time. So this is a new kind of way of doing it. We just kind of stumble across. We're just seeing whether this method is as useful to the students who are watching the videos. Here we go. Question number 7. Megan and Shen are washing cars. Megan gets £39 and Shen gets £55. They share what they get equally between them. So what we need to do first of all is to total up these two values. And we've done that over here. That gives us the total they get. So they get between them £94 because they share it equally. So we have to do 94 divided by 2, which will give us £47. Question number 8. The table shows the cost of a new football kit. Altogether, how much does the complete football kit cost? What we just done here was we just added the numbers literally in the table where they were. Put an add sign and add them up. And that gave us a total of £18.85. Here are some sentences about an amount of money. Put a mark a tick which is correct and mark across what is incorrect. So for example, the first one's done. £1.3 can be made with exactly 1 coin. Is impossible. Cross. £1.3 can be made with 2 coins. That's incorrect, because you can't make £1.3 with 2 coins. £1.3 can be made with 3 coins, yes, and we just done it over here. £1, add 2p, 1p gives you £1.3. £1.3 can be made with exactly 4 coins, and that is also correct. £1, add 3 1 pennies gives you that. Lovely. Question number 10. Here are 4 designs made from 2 sizes of circles. Write the letter of all the designs that have line symmetry, which means that we can put a mirror on them and one half will look like the other half, and that is shape A and shape B. As you can see from the mirror line that I drew earlier. You can't get a mirror line here or there, so that's the answer. Write in the missing number. So number 11 is all about rounding. So we are now rounding to the nearest whole number. So that's like thinking £5 and 5 pence. If we look in context of money. So £5 and 5 pence, is it closer to £5 or is it closer to £6? Well, it's very close to £5. So we write down 5. So 5.55, we can think of that as £5 and 55p. So you are now more closer to £6 or 6. So 4.45 can be thought of as £4.45, which is less than halfway towards the £5. So we say that is still round to the nearest whole number, it's still closer to £4 because it hasn't reached halfway, which would be 4.50. Now we have 4.54. Now 4.54 has definitely gone past the halfway mark, so that 4.54 definitely gets rounded up to the 5 mark. Now, question number 12. We have 15, okay, times by 100, so we got to work that out. So we add 2 zeros, as we did here. Now something times by 10 is 1,500. So opposite times by 10 is divided by 10. If you were to remove 1 0, that will give you 150, which you put over here. A number divided by 100 is 150. So this number, the original number, we had to remove 2 zeros to get to this number. So we just simply add 2 zeros back on, 2 zeros. So it becomes 150 plus 2 zeros, which gives you 15,000. So 150 divided by 10, all we have to do is remove a 0 when you divide by 10. That gives you 15. And that's the end of that question. Okay, here comes the next question. Question number 13. Alfie places 3 cubes on a coordinate grid. The base of his shape is a rectangle. So we got like a coordinate, we got a Cartesian coordinates here, we got our x-axis here and y-axis there. So this corner is 2 across, 3 up. This one here is 5 across and 3 up. Oh, let's get rid of that. Okay. And that one's 5 across and 4 up. We have to work out the coordinate of the vertices, sorry, which will give us the coordinate of the missing corner, which is up there somewhere. So it's going to be still 2 across, but rather than being 3 up, it'll be 4 up And that's what we got over here. Now, question number 14, straightforward question. Take each shape that is exactly quarter shaded. So I asked my students, how do you work out a quarter of 12? Well, a quarter of 12 is really 12 divided by the bottom number and times by the top to work out any fractional amount of. So 12 divided by 4, we said was 3. 3 times by 1 is 3. So we are looking for shapes here that have got 3 squares shaded. So the first one had 3, that's good. The second one has 6, that's no good. The next one had 4 shaded, that was no good. And the last one had 3, that was good. Lovely. Okay, question number 15. Right, one thing I'm definitely finding with this kind of method that stumbled across was actually, voiceovering the original work that was done page by page that we already done. It works out very, very quick compared to a long, drawn-out video that we've done. That might be the new style for teaching in the future. Okay, 4 children are in a race. Okay, right. Shen is 2 meters ahead of Alfie. Nina is 5 meters ahead of Megan. Alfie is 3 meters behind Megan. So what I did here originally, I drew a number line. Now because it said that Megan is 5 meters behind Nina, Megan at 0, and I went back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put Nina. Then it said that Alfie is 3 meters behind Megan. So again, Megan, 1, 2, 3 for Alfie. And then it says here that Shen is 2 meters ahead of Alfie. So here's Alfie. So 1, 2 put Shannon. So we have now put in all the people. Shen, Alfie, Nina on this number line. So we can quite easily see now who's the furthest ahead. Is Megan, then Shen, then Alfie, then Nina, and then we put over here. Question number 16, nice straightforward question. Alfie buys 2 books. Each of them are the same price. He pays a £10 note and gets £2.30 change. I'll call this a reverse question. So let's start from the £10 note. So if you do £10 note, you minus the change, which is over here. What you get is how much you spent, how much the 2 books cost. So the 2 books cost £7.70. Now because the 2 books have the same price, we can divide it by 2 as we've done in the bus stop technique over here. And we can work out that £7.70 divided by 2 gives you a cost for each book of £3.85. And that's the end of question 16. So work out how much you spent, divided by 2, and that is the cost of each book, and the job is done. 2 nice marks. Okay, right. I'm going to quickly go over the original part of the graph, which I've kind of I got too excited in the lesson and gone over in the yellow color. Can't see it. Now I'll put it back. Question number 17. This graph shows the distance Alfie and Shen walked in an afternoon. They started at 1:45 p.m. and had 2 breaks. Here's the 2 breaks. So let's choose a nice yellow color. Here's your break number 1, and here's your break number 2. Okay. How do we know it's a break? Because that's the time when the time is going. Time is elapsing, but you've got no distance. Okay. Okay. Pardon my alarm. Okay, right. So we said that how many kilometers did they walk between the first and second breaks? So if this here, if I right over here, this is our break 1. Oops, let's choose black. Okay, so we said this flat part is our break number 1. And this flat part is our break number 2. This part here. So I drew a line across to 6 and I drew a line across to 10. So we have to work out the distance between these two, because here's the first break, here's the second break. So you want to work out how many kilometers they walk between the first and second breaks. So it'll be 10 kilometers minus the 6 kilometers, which is here, equals 4 kilometers done. At what time did Alfie and Shen start their second break? So what I've done here, I've dropped a line straight down from the beginning of the second break. Beginning of second break was this flat part heads. So straight down, sorry about my line wasn't quite straight. But it dropped down to 4 and 1 box across, 1 bar. So we have 1 hour here, been divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So each parcel was 15 minutes. So it's 4 and 15, 4 add 15 minutes, that's 4:15 p.m. And that's the end of that one. Question 18, here is a spinner. Write a whole number in each section of the spinner so that it is certain, keyword there, certain, you will get a number less than 4. And it's impossible that you will get an even number. So what we've done, we looked at the numbers which are less than 4, so 4 is not included. So 4 was originally here. So we can't include 4 because it's not less than 4. 3 is less than 4, 2 is less than 4, and 1 is less than 4. We didn't include 2 because 2 is an even number and we're not allowed to have an even number. So we chose 1 and 3, and we put as many as 1s we like in here and as many 3s we like. And you can even put negative numbers in here as well. But we have to avoid the 0 according to the mark scheme. The examiner does not want us to have any zeros in the answer or any blank parts. So a mixture, we can have all 1s, all 3s, or 1s and 3s, or minus 1s and minus 3s and stuff, or minus 5s. It doesn't matter, but as long as we've got no zeros and no blank spaces. Question number 19. Calculate 816 divided by 24. This was done a few weeks back in a previous paper, and we showed you that this can be done rather than using long division techniques. We can use a cancelling technique. So we looked at these numbers 816 and 24, and we realized in the class that we could divide them by 8. So we divided the top and bottom by 8, and we got 102 divided by 3. Then we actually worked out 102 divided by 3 using the bus stop technique, and that very quickly led us to the answer of 34. And that's the end of that question. Question number 20. Shen and Megan each have a parcel. Shen's parcel weighs 1.5 kilos, Megan's parcel weighs 1.2 kilos. How many more grams is Shen's than Megan's parcel? So what we've done, first of all, we converted kilograms into grams by multiplying by 1,000. So 1.5 kilograms times by 1,000 is 1,500. And then we've done 1.2 kilograms times by 1,000, which is 1,200, which with the decimal point 3 places forward. That's how we got that. We got the larger number 1,500 minus the smaller number, and we got a difference of 300 grams. Job done. Okay, the next page looks very colorful. We had lots of fun on this particular question. I'm going to just try to go through that with you now. Okay, question number 21. Okay, question 21. We nearly got to the end of the paper. Right, question number 21. We're going to add more color to it now. Work out 20%. 20% of Megan's number is 64. What is 50%? So what I said here, let's look at this question as a ratio style question. If 20% is equal to 64, then 10% is equal to 32, because 10% is half of 20. Now once I know what 10% is, I can quickly work out what 50% is by multiplying by 5. If I multiply 10 by 5 is 50, and 32 by 5 gives me 160. And that is the end of the question. Question number 22. Write these in order of size, starting with the smallest. Now, since we already have two numbers here, this one 0.5 and 0.65, I think what we'll do here, I'll actually go over them again because I've crossed them out. 0.5 is the original number, and 0.65 is the original number. Because these two are already in decimal format, I decided to change all the others into decimal as well. So what we said was, let's change 2/3 and 3/5 into decimal. So what is 2/3? Here we are. Let's look over here, please. 2/3 means 2 divided by 3. So the 3 goes outside and the 2 goes inside. I call it the x. So we worked that out. We extended number 2 into decimal 2.00. And we got 0.66 recurring. We've done the same for 3/5. 3 divided by 5. So the second number always goes outside, the first number goes always inside, and 3 becomes 3.00. And we worked that out, and that gave us 0.60. So now we were able to see which number was small, which one was big, and we said the 0.5 was the smallest, then 0.60. Remember 0.5 is same as 0.50, so put extra 0 there to help us. So that was first. Here we go. 0.50 is first, 0.60 is second, 0.65 is third, and 0.66 is fourth. Remember, these numbers are here to help us. They're not the answers. Number 1 corresponds to this number. Number 2 corresponds to the 3/5. And number 3 corresponds to the actual decimal 0.65. And number 4 corresponds to 2/3. So you reuse all the original values back in the question. That was done. Okay. Question number 3 is very exciting. Alfie has some rectangles which are 8 by 3. So what we've done, we went all the way around the shape starting from the dot. So we said 3, add 8, add 3, add 8, add 3. Now we have to work out this shorter length here. Okay, I'll do that in yellow. We'll do the shorter length here. Okay, we have to do the shorter length. Okay, that shorter length was worked out as 5 because 8 minus the 3 above the bottom over here will give us a 5. So we have 1 5 here and 1 5 here. That one was 8, that one was 3, and that one was 8. So please mind a little bit of a mess because obviously this has already been worked on. So when you add 3, add 8, add 3, add 8, add 3, add 5, add 8, add 8, add 5, add 3, add 8, that gives us this total, which is 54. Please go back slowly and check through those yourself. Remember, this is a 3 here, an 8, a 3, an 8, a 3, a 5, an 8, a 5, a 3, and an 8. I'm sorry about the mess, folks. This is how exciting our lesson got. We were doing originally yesterday. Here comes the last page. Okay, folks, welcome to the last page of our work. Remember, this work was done yesterday. Due to technical problems, the recording, the video got cut off after question number 6. So now I'm actually going back through my screenshots and explaining it without having to do it all over again, because this was done in a lesson with my students. Right, okay, the last page. Let's just move it down a bit. Okay, here we go. Question number 24. Okay, let's change color first. Let's get yellow now. A cake costs 15p more than a biscuit. So I've put that as an equation. A cake equals biscuit plus 15. C for cake, B for biscuit. Okay, Megan bought a cake and 2 biscuits for 90p. So she bought a cake and 2 biscuits for 90p. How much do a cake and a biscuit each cost? So what we do here, we formed an equation. We've got equation number 1. We've got equation number 2. Now, we need to eliminate the C because we've got 2 unknowns. We have a cake that we don't know the cost of, and the biscuit that we don't know the cost of. So what we do here is where we see the C, we put in B plus 15 because C is equal to B plus 15. So we substitute this into here. So what does that give us then? C can be replaced by B plus 15. And then we have another plus 2B, which we copy down. So B plus 15 plus 2B equals 90. Now B add the 2B can be simplified. That gives us 3B. Plus 15 gets copied down. That gives us this equation here. This is all a linear equation. What we did here at the bottom, over here, if you look over here now, we copied down this equation here and we started to solve it. So we said B, we want to work out the value of B. B is being timed by 3 and then it's being added by 15. Okay, we call this the first action and second action. We always move the second action first. So opposite of plus 15 is minus 15. So 90 minus the 15 gives us 75. There's a 75. I'm just writing on top of it. Then we had left, we copy down the 3b, and the opposite of multiplying by 3 is divide by 3. So b is equal to 75 divided by 3. So b is finally equal to 25. So the cost of a biscuit is 25p, but the cost of a cake, up here please folks, look over here with the arrows up, the cost of a cake is the biscuit plus 15. So that will be 25 plus 15, which gives us the 40p. Done. Okay, question number 25. Shen and Megan each have a certain number of counters. They each take one of their own counters without looking. So the probability of Shen getting a 4 is going to be 1 out of 4. Probability of Megan getting a 4 is going to be 1 out of, because it's 5. Shen says, I am more likely than Megan to get a 4. Is she correct? You forgot to circle the yes. Explain how you know. Well, Shen has a quarter chance of getting a 4, whereas Megan has 1/5. Okay, chance of getting a 4. So we've stated the information that we have from the question, which is this, and we know that 1/4 is greater than 1/5, and that's our proof. And that's the end of this paper done in this new technique, which is going to stumble across due to some technical problem. I hope it still has benefits to my students. It kind of gives you a very quick video rather than quite a long one where we've got a lot of interaction with students, a lot of time's taken. So here everything's already done, I've just re-explained it. Please give some feedback about the usefulness of this style of video. I would appreciate it from the people who are watching the videos. Thank you very much.